Emotions. Did you know that emotions create preferences which directly impact our decision making processes? Hi, this is Clarity Coach Lucy, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to November Tips on Preparing for 2023. This is episode 4. Now, in the first 3 episodes, we covered emotions that could stop you from moving forward, 5 easy steps to accomplishing your goals, and 4 simple rules on how to start right. Now, these 3 episodes have brought us in a form of progression to exactly where we are today. Because in episode 4, we are here to talk about 3 tactics to motivate customers to buy. You see, we took care of the emotions, that thing that is keeping you in the place that you are, in your comfort zone, stopping you from moving forward. Now, once we've acknowledged those and we have a self-awareness, we went into the steps of accomplishing goals. Because many a times, and this time is coming up soon, New Year's, we have New Year's resolutions. And when we have New Year's resolutions, we say we're going to do 1, 2, 3, or the other. And in actual fact, we have every intention. But when the year starts and we move into the second month, it begins to fade. We begin to lose the focus of our New Year's resolution. And this is normal. But those 5 easy steps to accomplishing your goals, I hope you have been able to internalize them so that now you are able to apply. So get that dream off that shelf, and bring it and put some action plans and just roll with it. Roll into what I had as episode 3, which was 4 simple rules to start right. Now, once you have your dreams off that shelf and you know the things that are holding you back and you're just dealing with them, you just need to start right. Nike says, just do it. And that's it. Take that leap of faith. If you don't take that leap of faith today, imagine 10 years from now, you will regret this very moment. You will be asking yourself, why did I not take the courage to move forward? Because I must be honest with you, starting a business takes courage. But there's such satisfaction in it. The journey itself is exciting. It is exciting. So this is a 5-part series. And as I mentioned, I will be looking at tactics to motivate customers today. But our 5th episode is about 5 steps to supercharge your referrals. Because once you get your customers, you need to be able to have a sustainable business to ensure that these customers are coming back. So we have repeat customers. These customers are talking about you favorably. So we've got referrals, and then we've got new customers. So definitely these 5 episodes are for you, especially if you are a sole entrepreneur with a workforce of 3 or less. And even if you're not, you must have some dreams. And this is the Hustler Nation, as we have been informed. So maybe you have something that you've been wanting to try. You are in the right place. Please drop for me here in the chat any ideas that you may have. Now, I gave you the definition of emotions. So given that emotions push us towards action, I am sharing 3 tactics this afternoon that will help you optimize on the customer emotional decision-making process to buy. You heard that right. It's an emotional thing. That decision-making process is emotional. And the tactics that I'm going to help you with today are going to make sure that you're right there when the customer is making that emotional decision to buy. You see, getting to know your customer takes a little time and effort. You have to manage your expectations on the timelines. It doesn't happen overnight. Building relationships, as you know, doesn't happen overnight. Now imagine you're building a relationship with somebody that you know already. Now in this case, you don't know these customers. So you need to find them in this environment. And when you find them, you need to start building up a relationship with them. And this is where the time and the effort comes. This is where the sweat and determination comes. This is where the consistency comes up. This is when you have to keep on showing up and knowing what it is you started this business for, what kind of solution you are bringing, and staying true to it. So the personality, the likes and the dislikes of each customer is different. I mean, consider yourself. If you are standing in a physical, a tangible shop today to buy a product that is tangible, and you look around, you've got different personalities around the room, yet we are in the same place. Perhaps even touching the same thing. How profound is that? Well, customers share some commonalities. So even though we are all different in this room, we share some commonalities. And this is where you, the marketer, or you, the business owner, can grab onto. So what is your product? Is it tangible or is it a service? I sell a service. I am a coach, and as you can see, I am Clarity Coach Lucy. And now I'm taking us through Tuesday Talks at 3. And I have a product. It is a service. So what is it that you can grab on? Maybe you run a hospital, you run a school. Whatever it is a service. It is a solution to a need that a customer has. And this is where the commonalities are where they start. Because all of us customers, we have a commonality. Now it is your work as the owner, as the marketer, to find it. And one tool to do this is called a buyer persona. Now you want to create a buyer persona. You might ask, Lucy, what is a buyer persona? Well, a buyer persona is that ideal customer that you have in your mind. So it's a fictitious character. And you've put together some information, like an avatar. And you're deciding this is the person that I am targeting with this solution. They have a specific need. So for your business, you would have maybe one or two as a sole entrepreneur. You can have more than one buyer persona. To be able to build up on this buyer persona, you need to either answer or cover the following simple questions. And this is just a basic, but then the basis, I beg your pardon. But then you can work on it even bigger and wider, depending on what you want to achieve. So in my case, I've got 2 buyer personas that I deal with, and that is women and children. And I've gone ahead and even focused it and funneled it to something even more precise about what kind of woman, what kind of teenager. So some questions that helped me, and this is not limited to these 4 questions. The first one is, how old is that customer? How old is that buyer persona of yours? Maybe you could have some sub-segments and say, what's the demographics? Where do they live? How much do they earn? Things like that. But we can start with how old they are so that you know which age set they belong to. You can then ask yourself, what do they enjoy? So as you're filling out this avatar or this buyer persona or this customer fictitious profile as your ideal audience, you already understand the kind of person you're dealing with. You can walk into a room and decide, okay, like I deal with women. So when I walk in and I see the men, I know, okay, that is not my target market. How do I know that? Because I sat down and I was able to identify my audience. Yeah. The third question is, what are their pain points? What is it that they wish that they could figure out, solve, that they could have a convenience for? And then you have your solution. Many a times we start businesses and we think that now because we've started the business, the customers will buy. It is foolhardy of us to think like that. There is a commonality, and I like to use this a lot. If you live in a place where there are a lot of kiosks, those little shops where you go and you buy your daily bread or milk, you'll find there's one after the other and they have exactly the same stock. It's because the first guy set up. The next guy came and saw, oh, I can set this up also. This is a big area. And this is what they do. So you end up having 2, 3, 4 kiosks along one road in an area where we have a couple of people living. And only because one person decided to copy the other. because they saw what the pain points were. Well, it works for most people. But can you imagine if you specialized on what the pain points were and then you created the product? We would not have many kiosks that are like copy and paste outside our homes. We would have specialized stores or specialized kiosks. But that's a story for another day. The fourth question is, what is social media for them? And what does it mean by their platforms? Where can you find them? It's important to know where they're found. So are you found on IG? Are you found on Facebook? Are you found on LinkedIn? Are you found on TikTok? Where are you found? It is important for you to understand where your customer is found. You could decide you're on Twitter, but your customer is on Facebook. What are you doing on Twitter? You can keep that account dormant because you may want to evolve into a different type of buyer persona over time. But for now, move to Facebook. You know, you may be in IG, but your customer is on TikTok. You need to adjust. So this is you discovering who your ideal customer is and where they are. This way you get to know them better. You get to interact with them. And as you interact with them, give them what they want because now you understand what they want. Ask questions, get answers. Don't assume. When you know what your customer wants, then it is easy to take care of them. And guess what? They become loyal to your service and to your product. They will tell people about your service and your product. In reviews, they will talk about you and people will begin to follow you. And you are definitely going to have lifetime customers that will make your business prosper. But remember what my caveat was in the beginning. Getting to know your customer takes a little bit of time and effort. And it is not an overnight success. So you need to work at it. And one way is to create this avatar. But enough of the avatar. Today we're here about 3 tactics that are going to help you motivate your customers to buy. It is an emotional thing when we're talking about decision making. So whatever business you are in, if you're sitting at home by your dining table like I am doing here right now, your business is online, how are your customers finding you? And how can you motivate them to buy? If you've got a whole big store where you're selling tangible products, how does your customer find you? And how are they going to buy from you? Is your product maybe a mobile product and you're moving from one stage to the other? How is your ideal customer going to find you? So whether it's a service, whether it's a product, you are in the right place. Remember, I said this is targeted for sole entrepreneurs who have at least a workforce of 3 or less people. Well, let's just jump in. Let's just jump into the tactics. So tactic number 1 of 3 is forget about selling. You heard me right. We are here to get tactics on how to motivate customers to buy. And yet I'm telling you, forget about selling. Well, I want you to put the emphasis on buying. On buying. That means you're stepping into the shoes of your customer. You're thinking like your customer. Your customer is in buying mode. You're the one who's in selling mode, and yes, you're in the right place. But the focus should be on that customer who's buying. You see, you and I, we are customers, yeah? So let's also remember ourselves as customers. But for the sake of this session, people like to think that all their buying decisions were reached due to their own great ideas and skillful shopping. Sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah. When you step out of where you are and you go to buy something and you buy it and you walk away, you think it's all you. You think that it is all you. It is not all you. You see, what happens is a customer goes through 3 main stages. There are actually 5 and more, but 3 main stages. They go through awareness. They go through consideration. They go through consumption or buying or purchasing. So let's look at the first one. The first one is them going through awareness. That means, you see, today we've got everybody on thumbs. People are subconsciously parking things right there. They don't realize that as they park and as they go window shopping, these things come together and already an emotional decision to buy is made. And I love your question, Rose. You say, how do I forget about selling? Remember, we are wearing the shoe of the customer. The customer is not there to sell, they're there to buy. So if you want to experience what the customer is experiencing so that you can motivate them to buy, you need to take off your selling hat and put on the buying hat. How would you respond when you're in buying mode? I hope I've answered your question, Rose. So back to the customer and their 3 areas. In awareness, they are already on a journey. So your work as a marketer, your work as a business owner is to make sure that wherever it is the customer is, you're there. So in the awareness journey, it is a customer journey. Where are you? Are you on a website? Are you on Google Business? Are you on social media? Are you on flyers, maybe on WhatsApp status? Are you in groups? Where are you where your customer is? Your buyer persona has already told you where they like to hang out, the things they like to do. Make it your business to be there. Maybe you sell t-shirts. Maybe your customer is a 16-year-old. Make sure you're where the 16-year-olds are. Is it in a shopping mall? Is it in school? Is it in a sports ground? Make sure you're there. Or maybe you want to be where the parents are of this 16-year-old. But you've got to have this conversation with yourself. So this customer, when they are buying, they believe, you and I also as customers, we believe that we make this purchase because of our own main decision. Yes and no. A very good service provider or product provider will ensure that they have followed your journey. They know where you're at and they keep on sending you these subtle messages about their product. By the time you're going to buy something, part of that decision has been made as a result of what you have seen on your journey, because the owner of the service and the product met you on that journey and planted a seed in your subconscious. You actually just parked it. You see, no one is fond of a pushy salesperson. It can get very annoying when you have a pushy salesperson. But a salesperson who helps you discover your best buy, you are able to see where your money is going. So walk with me on this one. You walk into a shop and you know you want a pair of white shorts. And in these white shorts that you're looking for, there's a specific size. So you've come in knowing what you want. And you walk in and you find that the kind of shorts that are there, the fabric is all wrong. But the salesperson there is being pushy and they want you to buy this other fabric. You know, you don't feel good. You feel violated. You feel like they haven't listened to you. This is not where I want to be. Pause that and flip it. You walk in and the salesperson is helping you. The salesperson is listening. White shorts. Describe them for me. What would you like these shorts to do for you? Well, I'd like them to have elastic around the waist because then it makes me come elastic. You're looking for white shorts elastic. I'd like them to have a bit of space around my hips so that it allows me in my gym to do my squats. I would like it to have a breathable material. Already this person is listening to your needs and thinking about a product that can then be a solution to your need. They are putting themselves in your shoes. You could be somebody who owns a school and a parent is coming to you and is very specific about what they want for their children. And maybe it's around values and you're listening and you're aligning yourself and you're responding. Because there may be the case that you don't have anything that this person is asking for. But then you create a need in them. And you say, yes, I hear you. I don't have this particular product now, but what I do have is a product that does 1, 2, 3, 4. You are speaking to the need of the customer and you're adding something additional to it. Would you like to have a look at it? Would you like to test it out? Usually the answer would be yes, even for a customer who's hesitant. But the fact that you acknowledged what they were asking for takes you further. You become the hero of the day, I tell you, because you listened and you applied and now you've created a new need. See, when a customer walks into your shop or finds you online, they are most likely thinking of making a purchase even before they get there. You don't have to persuade them to buy at all. The work is easy for you. You simply help them to decide what the best purchase is, because there are many purchases. So you help them to decide which is the best purchase. So keep your focus on the customer and their needs, not your product. And here I'm reminded of a story and an incident that I experienced about a month ago. I was looking for a specific fabric and I went to the Maasai market here in Nairobi. And this woman, she saw me and she decided I'm the one who's going to buy something from her shop. And she kept on insisting on the things I should buy. She wasn't listening to me. I was specific about what I was looking for. I'm those shoppers. I say I want a white blouse. I walk in, look for the white blouse. It's not there, I walk out. I'm not a good window shopper. But she didn't see that. She was pushing her product on me and I did not feel welcome. But I didn't want to leave because I could see she had a choice there and maybe I'd have to come back to her. For those of you who've been to Maasai markets, you do know what I'm talking about. There are different stalls. So you may just do a whole round and come back to the original one. I didn't want to burst her bubble, neither did I want to burn my bridges. So she was not thinking about what I wanted. She was selling me features. She was selling me the product and not the benefits. So this is one thing you must do about forget about selling. Put the emphasis on buying. Consider what are the benefits. Is a customer buying comfort? Is a customer buying convenience? Is a customer buying choice? Are they buying peace of mind? Stop telling us about your tangible product. Think about what it is that I am buying. I am buying benefits. So remember, you are here to serve the customer. So on tactic number 2, make purchasing a sure bet. I'll say that again. Make purchasing a sure bet. Don't give them the opportunity of lift, and leave. Make it a sure bet that they will lift, and make a purchase. You see, buying is a risky business. And the higher the price tag reads, the higher the risks. A customer is just looking for a product that satisfies them, satisfies their need, the need that they came in to purchase it for. But the question they will always ask themselves is it worth it? Now, whether it is a high price or a low price, the question is always there. Now, let's consider a high price for a moment. It is normal for us to make the assumption that a high-priced item gives you more value. It's not necessarily the case. It is therefore our assumption that a low-priced item doesn't give you value. That's not necessarily the case. Value is important, but value alone does not help. It's all about what the customer sees as worthwhile in this product. So it could be that they want to wear something that has a brand that is international. That's the value they're looking for. And maybe that is why they would pay the high price. It could be that they are looking for health reasons. That's the value they're looking for. And that's perhaps why they would pay a certain price. Asking, is it worth it, is a legitimate question for a customer. This world is full of scams. And you don't want to spend your hard-earned cash and realize that this product that you bought is really zero and it does nothing for you. As customers, we have all learned tough lessons. And therefore, we're very specific about what we buy. And we don't want to be disappointed. One way to ensure that your customer makes that sale, touches and doesn't leave your platform or your shop without buying, is a money-back guarantee. And I'm sure you've heard about money-back guarantee. If you're online and you're buying something, you're told, money-back guarantee, 20 days, 30 days, 60 days. If you can do this for a customer, you're giving them the confidence in this product, that they feel they don't have to spend money on something that was not worthwhile. In the end, they can actually return it. If you're in a convenience store or a shop with clothes or shoes or appliances, and you're told you can return it in a certain period of time as long as it is still in the same condition and with the tags. Hey, we've all experienced this. You feel comfortable. chances are you're not going to return this product. But what you have done as a seller of this product is you've allowed this customer to feel confident with the sale. You have made the purchase a sure bet. Testimonials are another one. Pick out the testimonials of satisfied customers and share them. Share them with the customers who are in your store, online. Share them so that when a customer is asking, is it worth it, and they read, they make their own assumptions. So remember, with tactic number 2, which is make purchasing a sure bet, remember that the customer is looking for value. But not only value, but even more. And we'll get that to tactic number 3. We'll get to that. Communicate the easy process. You know, when I was studying in sales and marketing, we were told about this acronym, which was introduced to us at that time, KISS. KISS. Keep it short and simple. Keep it sweet and simple. Simple, simple, simple. It makes life so much easier. You see, as customers, our time is competing for so many things. There are so many things happening at the same time. We are tired. We are rushed. The day is too short right now. We do not have time to spend on this journey of awareness, consideration, and purchasing. We want things pop. Things to happen quickly. We just want to make the purchase and go home and move on perhaps to the next purchase. Yeah? So convenience stores have testified that quick and easy often overrides a better price. A better price usually is a cheaper price, right? So you can walk into a store and buy something that is expensive because it is an easy process. You've walked into supermarkets where there's a line for 10 or less products. Hey, that's one way to motivate a customer to buy. Because if I come in end of month and the queues are so long, and that's the only time I could make it in to buy, I don't know, a packet of milk. There are no kiosks where I live. I walk in, I see those queues, I walk away. But you motivate me to buy when you give me convenience in that way. Make the buying process simple. Remember that not everyone prefers the same method. In Kenya, we've got M-Pesa. Have M-Pesa, have credit card, have debit card, have PayPal, have cash. Give us options so that we know that we can come in and buy anytime. Checks now are out of the window. People don't do checks anymore. But all these other options should be there. So when you as the owner are planning your next marketing campaign, don't forget to point out the quick, fast, and easy benefits of your product. If you are online and your payment portal takes forever to load, you are losing customers. They just move on to the next competition and they buy it from there. You've lost a customer because you did not give the easy process. You made it difficult. You did not put money in to make it easier for your process to load, to make it, convenient for the person to just press a button. Or even worse, they've bought one item, they've put in their details, and now when they want to buy another one online, they still have to put in their details again. You know what? I finish with you and I move on to your competitor, or I do it by myself. So remember to make it an easy purchase. Simplicity is the key. Well, those are the 3 tactics. And wooing customers is a little bit like dating. You must remember that. Now, let me give you a little bit of an analogy. You can't present the engagement ring on the first date. You can't. You simply can't. There's a 2-way relationship that grows one step at a time. So think of your business. It's a relationship you're building with your customer. It can't be overnight. You have to build it day by day to motivate them to buy. So there are different platforms that you have to go through to make it happen. And I hope that I'm bringing this to you. You see, if we say that you can't rush it, and if we say you can't skip these parts, we say it because you are looking for the satisfaction of a lifelong commitment. Now, your lifelong commitment with your customer, we'll be covering that in episode 5, which is our last episode of November, which is about supercharging your referrals. We need to build long-term or lifelong relationships with our customers. And we'll meet you next week for that one. But for now, let us recap on the 3 tactics that I talked about. Forget about selling. I hope, Rose, you're still there. Forget about the selling mentality and put emphasis on the buying. That means walk a mile in your customer's shoes and see what they're experiencing. And make sure that experience is real for them and that they're able to have it when they come in contact with you. Number 2, make purchasing a sure bet. In other words, show value. Because the customer is asking, is it worth it? So your buyer persona is going to tell us what kind of customer this is, what they're looking for, what they like, what they dislike, where we can find them, how much they can pay. It's a beautiful thing, and you can always direct message me for a session on creating a buyer persona for your business. Number 3, communicate the easy process. Keep it short and simple. Remember that value isn't everything. So value alone will not work. So take in your value and put in all these other things of the mentality that you have with your customer. Over and above that, it's pretty easy to charm your customers, especially when you know what it is that they like. Keep these 3 tactics in mind as you go about the daunting task of growing your business and expanding your customer list, and watch your company gain traction. Well, we've come to the end of our session, and I just want to share with you the 3 takeaways that you will be able to use to optimize on the customer emotional decision-making process to buy. It's a mouthful, but we are motivating customers to buy. The first one is, remember your customer needs. They come first. It's not about your product. You are providing a solution. Number 2, communicate value to the customer. They want to know, is it worth it? Don't sell them the feature, sell them the benefit. Tell them it's the convenience, the peace of mind, the ease. That's what a customer is looking. You're a customer. And then number 3, simplicity is key. And those are the 3 takeaways. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 4. This recording of this episode will be available on our YouTube channel this evening, LMC Consultancy. And while you're there, remember to hit the 2 buttons, subscribe and notification, so that you can get updates on the latest recordings. Join me on the final episode of November Tips on preparing for 2023. And the topic, as I said, is 5 steps to supercharge your referrals. In the meantime, remember to like our Facebook. Remember to follow us on IG to receive regular updates on these scheduled talks. And I tell you, we are now on TikTok as Clarity Coach Lucy. You see, I am finding my customers and I'm following them where they are. And I'm being able to just give them little seeds to park. By the time they're buying my product, they will believe that they bought it out of their own need. But actually, I have been talking to them silently over time. That's a tip for you. Visit our website, lmcconsultancy.com, for more of our services. Let us help build each other. And until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.